Hey.
Hi.
Yeah.
So, um, I heard there's this whole big thing about tube.
Yeah, you
you
gotta
hear
get
about
some
that?
tube, yeah.
Do you hear about the tube?
Yeah, the tube.
I want to get some tube.
I'm sure you do.
I think that if I got some tube, I would be less nervous all the time.
Probably. I got a tube for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I tube you?
It's dirty.
I don't. It's okay.
Yeah. As long as you don't care about dirty tubes.
It's either dirty or it's wet, one way or the other. Doesn't it?
Yeah, well, dirty, wet. I mean, at least...
At least it's a tube.
At least it's a tube.
You know?
A slip and slide's a slip and slide, no matter where it's... No matter whether it's down a volcano or in the middle of a beautiful island.
Yeah. And that's part of why I like watching Zerg so much, even though I don't like to play them.
Yeah.
Same reason. Exactly. Anyways,
So I'm Guns Akimbo,
I'm Negative Suns.
and you're watching Starcraft 2 Amateur Hour, where we talk about tube
Yeah. And Starcraft.
and Starcraft.
It's the only, I think this might be the only Starcraft podcast that we talk about tube and Starcraft.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
So what we're doing today is we are watching a game from a very special place.
yeah.
We're in heaven, guys. We killed ourselves because we realized we're just losers. No, we're watching a game on starcraftorg. You might know him because he's had many
We
games
featured
on
him.
here.
We featured him a lot.
There's a man named Grog.
He's very good at Starcraft.
He's awesome. He's awesome at a lot of things. He's good at He's good at the tube too, from what I hear.
Yeah. Anyway, and he's one of our fellow moderators on Starcraft.org, and he, as his project, started a ladder on the Starcraft.org forums, which Guns Akimbo and myself are participating in, as well as Grog and lots of other people from Starcraft.org.
Yeah, and it's making for a lot of really awesome games.
Yeah.
And so it's open to anybody. So all you have to do is just sign up to the starcraft.org forums and go to the Grog's ladder thread.
And say, hey, I want to try this.
Yeah,
and
he won't say no. He'll say yes.
Yeah, you don't have to fear rejection.
It's not like a tube. It's Grog's acceptance is universal.
Yeah.
Grog's acceptance tube.
The only thing is that if you do come and sign up and you want to play, you just have to make sure you stay
Away from us.
away from us because we don't want to lose. No, you have to make sure that you keep coming back and don't just forget about it because people will be relying on you to play the games
Yeah.
you sign up for.
Ooh,
Anyways,
that SCV getting in and out, and usually right here, I love a quick strat for all you noobs. If if a scout gets right in here, just be ready because there's so little going on initially early in game. You could just be ready with go like that and just surround real quick and
Yeah.
get the attack, and you kill the scout, and then you don't have to worry ever again.
Or you could miss this round completely and lose a little bit of mining time.
That happens maybe 40% of the time.
Yeah. But anyways, so Grog right now is currently number 1 on his own ladder.
Yeah. That's why he made
That's why
it.
he made it. And his opponent here, Devolved, the pink Terran, is currently number 2. So this is their match that happened recently. So we wanted to showcase this and talk about some of the stuff that happened well in this game and some stuff that could have been done differently.
Yeah, and again, I mean, both these players are great.
Oh yeah, they're totally good.
Really good. They're above
Notice
us.
neither Guns and I are number 1 on Grog's ladder.
Yeah, no. Nor will we ever be.
Most likely. But it's still fun. Anyways. Wow.
What's happening here?
There's the Civs. SCV.
Oh, okay. So we have a quick Stargate, which I don't believe Devolve sees. No.
No, the SCV leaves before he scouts this, but it is one thing that you should, as a Terran against a Protoss, you should know if you see Gateway then Core and not another Gateway go down, like right away or even before the Core finishes, that it's going to be some sort of tech. It's either going to be Robo and then Gateway, or Stargate and then Gateway, or
Wait,
something.
so if you see
Gateway Core
Gateway
means you got to
Core.
scout again. Basically.
Yeah, because you have to see if they're going for a second gateway for stalkers or if they're going for a starport for tech. Is that what you're saying, essentially?
Right, or they could even be expanding off of one gateway. That's really common now, is gateway, cybernetic core, expand. So
Well, what's the cyber core at that? Why get the cyber core before expand?
because getting the cyber core allows you to get sentries out, which allow you to make force fields, which help you hold the expand much better.
Plus, so you get what, like 1 or 2 zealots, then
plus also opening against Terran. It's so important to get an early core because even at this point that barracks are come after somebody vote. It's still, if you don't get an early stalker out, you run the risk of losing a lot of probes to a Reaper harass. So against Terran more than any other matchup, Protoss needs to get core immediately.
Okay, so Devolved now putting the scan down and sees this, but sees it as the Void Ray is just finishing because Grog's been still saving
I don't
his
think
energy.
he sees it. I don't think he sees the Void Ray pop out though.
No, he didn't see the Void Ray pop out, but he doesn't. So he doesn't know where we are in the status. But Grog's going for a push very early with just one Void Ray.
This is actually a really solid push. I like this build. Nowadays that Void Rays aren't so completely overpowered that you could attack with them by themselves and win. You see a lot of people who choose to go Void Ray going for like a Void Ray plus a couple of ground units, usually Stalkers build. And it's so effective because it forces their opponent either to deal with a very strong early army, or have their forces split from their ramp and their back. It looks like here he's going to be attacking just from one angle, so...
yeah, and it looks like Devolve's going for a Hellion drop while Grog's doing this, so there is really nothing here to for Devolve to do. I mean, the Void Ray's charged up on the supply depot, just 3 Marines.
Yeah.
But the problem, though, once this drop hits, is there anything in Grog's base?
No, he sent all of his units. His entire early build was focused on getting this drop here. He doesn't have anything else other than this. He does put his expansion down, but this is going to catch him completely off guard. He didn't scout it at all. So let's see how many kills the Hellions get. Actually, they're upgraded Hellions. They're blue flame Hellions. I didn't see that in the queue.
There's 3 per each right
now.
now.
No, you should not attack that with probes. That's bad.
Yeah, well, there's no other choice right now.
Grog's response here should be to immediately, once he sees Hellions with blue flame, to run his probes away as fast as possible.
13 kills on one. 13 kills on...
You can't, and you shouldn't be
8 kills on the other.
You shouldn't
Jesus
queue
Christ.
probes around like that either. You need to run them away in a straight line as fast as possible, and possibly even split them up, because Hellions are just so good at killing workers, especially once they're upgraded like this. Like you lose all your workers that quickly. It's insane.
And now this medevac trying to get away, but can the Void Ray outrun it at all? No, I think medevacs are quicker than Void Rays, but
yeah, the
so
medevac
long.
is quicker.
Okay, now that was. Let's look at Devolve's face. Devolve lost a lot up front. He lost his barracks.
Now,
he lost
one thing I would like
depots.
to... Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
He lost his barracks. He lost depots. So pretty much they both lost a lot. But at this point, who would you say is ahead?
It's really hard to say right now, actually, because Devolved has 22 SCVs plus the mules that he's getting off of his one base. But Grog does have his expansion, and I don't think Devolved has scouted the expansion at all yet. Let's see real quick. No, he has not scouted the expansion. So
I would say at this point, you know, and this is a big lesson too of Grog using that early pressure to get that expansion. And while he's going to be a little bit, delayed now and getting more units out, he's still putting pressure on with these Void Rays. He knows there's not enough Marines to take care of them, so he knows he's locking his opponent into his base.
Right.
And while he can't make too many units, if within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
be ahead.
I mean, here's the thing. You got to realize that off of 2 Next, you can make probes so fast with Chrono Boost that within 5 probe production cycles on both those Nexus... Probe makes. He'll have equaled and possibly be surpassing Devolve's worker count. Devolve really needs to... I'm surprised, actually, that Devolve hasn't built a command center in base at this point.
Yeah, well, he's been under way too much pressure. I mean, first he's doing the early drop, now all this pressure with the Void Rays. I don't even know if he has... I guess he has the money now.
Yeah.
But still,
I don't really like Devolve's unit competition against this either. I would just have like all Marines and maybe even a fast starport.
Well, I mean, really, all Marines with stim right now would be ideal.
Yeah,
over
plus
having
medevac.
In the mix.
Marines kill Stalkers good, and that's your only shot against the Void Rays. Kill it with Marines.
Now these 3 Marines should be enough to push it away, maybe.
No,
God,
I don't know.
So strong, man.
I mean, finally he has the reactor core in the barracks, but he didn't build that for a while. He should have put that down right after scout. Right after you scout that he's going Stargate, and you see the Void Ray that's building.
Yeah.
Which is usually what they'll build against Terran. Phoenixes aren't that good against Marines. Is you put down a reactor core in one of your barracks, or build another barracks if you already have a tech lab, because you need lots and lots of Marines against this. And that's why scouting is so important. I mean, Devolve is a great player. He's number 2 on this ladder, but he scanned. He knew to scan for the starport. He saw it, but then he didn't respond correctly.
Yeah. Well, I know he was even a little bit slow off just getting Marines out off there. And again, because I think it's the kind of thing where you don't really expect a one Void Ray push. You think, okay, I have a little bit more time to macro up.
I think part of that too is that Devolved had his mind so focused on the drop he was doing. He had already committed to the proxy, and he was already working on the Hellions. That in his mind he was probably thinking, okay, I'm gonna drop him before the Void Ray gets here. And I'm going to be in the lead that way. But you can't rely on... You have no way to know how far along that production of that Void Ray is.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably thinking that he didn't realize that the Stargate got built immediately after his SCV left.
Now, I do like just Grog's composition of the Void Ray with the Stalkers because in more even numbers, the Stalkers are so good against the Marines. And he's forcing him not to make Marauders at this point anymore.
The Stalkers actually aren't super great against the Marines. I would prefer him to be adding have like 50% Stalker and Zealot. But also, Grog is actually falling behind on gateway count. I think he only still has those 2 gateways, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, so at this point, off of 2 bases, I mean, he was down on workers for a long time. Now he's finally getting to the worker count he should have. He has 18 workers now total. So I can understand it. His money is pretty low. But once he gets closer to saturation on those 2 bases, he really needs to throw down another, like, 4 or 6 gateways. That many, actually.
And Grog actually just slightly behind now on army composition on the army. So this push could be enormous.
Yeah.
If it keeps moving in quickly, as Grog will be catching up soon.